Today's lesson was a discussion about Rebel Without a Cause, the classic film of the 1950s and teenage rebellion. How would you go about studying a film like this? Well, Frame is a way for us to organize the information so that we can get to the root of what the film's all about. And the title says something about of what it's all about. So let's look at our first section, which is about, and see if we can generate some ideas about this movie. The main task that I have is to prepare them for college level work. Not in a way that I hope they do well, but rather than a way that I know they'll do well when they get there. So what does a college student have to be able to do? They have to be able to organize information and do it efficiently and simply put off procrastination and start their task. I think the Frame, for instance, facilitates that because there's not a student in the classroom who can't participate in a brainstorming session in which they can tell us what their movie was about or the novel was about or the unit was about. So when we think about Rebel Without a Cause, and by the way, I'd like you to write it all in your frame, in topic. Thinking, all right, I saw a movie. We talked a little bit before about how a movie could be a subject you might study in college. In preparing to do a frame, you have to pay attention to 3 key words. That's cue, do, and review. The cue part of it is simply cueing the class to what their task is today. Part of the cue may be the introduction of music from that time period. So here's some music from the 1950s that you probably heard before. Anybody heard this song past? So we think about this, we think, a long time ago. We're back in the... To put them in the right frame of mind to do what I want them to do. Most of you were born 1989, 1990, am I right? And 91. So the 1950s, gosh, that's a really long time ago. That might even been a time that maybe even Mr. Rodriguez was born. It was so long ago. Then the do part of it, of course, is what you actually see in the classroom with the writing on the whiteboard. So, and I want you to write down in your is about why rebellion. So here's one reason. Fun. The eliciting student responses and perhaps some commentary and students responding to each other. So what else does the title tell us, Nicholas?
He has sociological issues in his mind.
Sociological issues, I agree with you. Like, what do you see?
He doesn't really have attention from his mother or father at all, and his father doesn't step up to the plate at all.
So these gets back to this, right? I will guide them as to the main subject matter that I want to talk about, whether today was teenage culture and rebellion and family relationships. Because I think within that framework, then they can, they have wings to fly and go in whatever direction they want. But I have to impose some structure on it as we go.
He does have a lot of psychological issues, and it was mentioned that he was getting therapy, but then his mom... Head shrinker. Yeah, a head shrinker. And his mom decided to stop paying for it. And I think that also led back to like rebellion, the whole attention thing. The
thing I always look forward to when I'm teaching the frame is getting their responses, because these responses were very powerful and they were very insightful. And let's face it, this is a movie about teenage rebellion, and here's a classroom full of teenagers who are the experts on it. And they immediately saw what the problems were in that classroom. What's the attitude of the teenagers when they see this, Freshman?
They're scared.
Fearful.
Yes.
So now connect it to the title. So what does that have to do with the title, in your opinion?
Well, if you're going to die, there's no cause in living.
They fear death, right?
Yes. Yeah.
So the first step then is to generate the big ideas. What is this film about? I work the room. I don't want the 2 or 3 people to respond. I want the whole class to respond. But then after a while, they take off all on their own. I'm become not so much a teacher, but simply a facilitator to their learning. If we're looking at our frame and deciding, all right, well, so we've got issues here on teenage culture, on family, and rebellion. We've filled in our facts through each one. And now we get to our so what or conclusion. So what? Anybody have any ideas? The review part is then when we put it all together. What have we done today? We've looked at the opening paragraph, we've looked at the supporting subtopics, and then finally gone to your so what or conclusion to make this into our final form and either for review, writing an essay, or preparing to do another unit. The frame can be modified to fit whatever you're teaching in your classrooms. I think the key word is accessibility, and I think it offers that to students and thereby very useful to us as educators.
I mean, you know, why not make the best of life and do it? Why do what you're told? I mean, what's the point?
I think the frame helps generate the energy level because we can see from their rapid fire responses and their responses to each other that it's an exciting time to be in the class, and I'm hoping they'll go home today and say, hey, we did something interesting in class. We talked about whatever it was that we talked about, and that it won't be a unique experience, but rather one that they look forward to every day when they come to class. What are we going to do today? So that it's a sense of belonging. I can communicate with you on a different level than Mr. Rodriguez communicates with you, right? And that's what you're essentially saying, right?
But
Yeah?
it also rebels against the parents because, like, the parents don't know what it means. So then it feels like you're more powerful than them because you know more than your parents do.
Very good. Language is power.